Hello and welcome back to the channel once again, or welcome to the channel if you're joining us for the first time. My name is Alan. This is my partner in crime, Leanne, and we are Alan Presents. And what is Alan presenting today? You already know. You've seen the title card. Summerslam predictions. Let me just put my watch on mute before we go any further. There we go. So we are doing our SummerSlam predictions. What day is it? I don't even know. It's Thursday today. Because we're not going to promote Saturday, because by the time we watch Smackdown from the previous night on the Friday, I mean, if you've already seen the channel, you can fast forward this a little bit, about 30 seconds, but just for everyone to catch up. So Smackdown airs on a Friday night. We don't particularly want to wait until that occurs and be like, oh, well, there's new matches, there's new this, or potentially nothing at all, when we could have had someone watching our prediction video prior to that, because obviously by the time we record it and upload it, they'll probably be about 4 hours until the pay-per-view. So what's the point? Sorry, Premium Live Event. So what's the point in doing that? There is no point. So we're uploading them a bit early. As always, if there is anything major that changes on SmackDown this coming Friday night, Saturday, we will add it to the description, or the comments below, and we will update it from there. So this year's SummerSlam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches. We have a whopping 5 championship matches.
Yeah, they've said
5.
every title's on the line, I think they said.
No, it's not.
I'm sure they said it.
Intercontinental Championship's not on the line. 24/7 title's
sure
not on the line.
said it.
I don't recall them saying that. The only night that generally every title's on the line is the Clash of the Champions.
But I'm sure I remember one of the commentators saying it, but we all know that
they're all
mistakes,
idiots.
So.
Come on. I mean, just sort of going back to last month's event, Money in the Bank, there was 1, 2, 3 championship matches. So we're getting a lot more championship matches.
Yeah,
which is nice. Still no Intercontinental Championship on the card though. I can't remember the last time the Intercontinental Championship was on a Premium Live Event. It's one of the most prestigious belts championships in the WWE. So why aren't they putting it on the Premium Live Event? Oh, well, they got to keep changing everything. It's just so difficult. Okay.
Let's do it.
So let's do it. So as always, we're going to do the non-title matches first. Then we're going to follow up with the title matches in the sort of order of some order of relevancy, I guess. Not necessarily with this one. There's both. Well, I say both women's championship matches on the. That is true, because right now there is no women's tag team championship.
Ooh.
So what I've done with the title matches, I've done male, female, male, female, male, because it kind of nice little staggering out like that. I kind of like to keep it nice and even and symmetrical on it. So let's rip this band-aid off for the first couple of matches, shall we?
Let's do it.
First match we have Logan Paul versus The Miz. Logan Paul.
We've said it all before. We've said it all. We don't like him. Don't think he should be
scum.
here.
He signed a frigging contract to WWE. Great.
And it says it all. Was it Raw?
Yeah, it was Raw this last Monday night. They had Raw open with him and Miz brawling in the ring already. And it was like, oh, well, Logan Paul come out and he challenged the Miz, blah, blah. That's what the commentators spun it as. The true fact of the matter was that they had Logan Paul come out prior to Raw starting on the air because they felt that the crowd would boo him very badly.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, they did.
When he's supposed to be the face and Miz is the heel, because Miz is a great heel.
And Miz, I mean, sort of fast forwarding to the when they did was Impulsive TV. That's just an awful name, by the way.
I think it's something to do with his YouTube channel. Probably.
I don't care how many views he's got or how many subscribers he's got. He's scum of the earth. That's a terrible name. And seeing The Miz and Ciampa beat 7 bells out of him has been amazing.
Yeah.
And it come to the point where Miz, I believe, hit a skull-crushing finale on him, and the crowd started chanting one more time. Now, The Miz is supposed to be the bad guy going into this, but The Miz is getting cheered heavily.
Yeah.
I'm all for The Miz being this. It's almost like an anti-hero.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
It's good.
I really don't like Logan Paul.
Don't want Logan Paul being there, but at least The Miz is going to make the most of it and give us something to enjoy, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one plus side of that is news outlets will be like, oh, a social influencer, blah, 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 Logan Paul, blah, blah, blah. in the ring with The Miz, so The Miz will get a good rub off that, and he'll get a bit more exposure in the national media, and not that he needs it.
No.
Because he's already got enough sort of coverage and stuff like that.
He's got his own reality
TV they did
show.
That, he's got that reality TV show, 3 seasons in, Miz and Mrs. He did that all-celebrity baseball game, and he won MVP of the match.
Yeah, he's been on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
It's that one, isn't it? No, it's different in the UK.
Yeah. I think it's Dancing with the Stars.
It's Strictly Come Dancing in the UK.
That's right.
I think
That's
it's a
right.
different
Yeah, I
thing.
think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
But yeah, he's like got so much. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about this match. I just don't want to have to watch Logan Paul.
Honestly, that's about all the time I really want to give to that scumbag.
Yeah.
So, who have you got winning this?
I'm really worried they're going to have Logan Paul win.
What do you mean you're worried? That is definitely what they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Let's be perfectly honest. I'm putting my name down there first on that. Logan Paul is definitely winning this because he's just signed, I don't know how many years, but he signed a contract.
Yeah, and you can't have him losing his first match after signing the contract. So yeah, he's going to win. I don't like it.
It's ridiculous. I hate that they've done this. And there's other guys on the card. Shinsuke Nakamura, again, Intercontinental title, right? Shinsuke Nakamura could be fighting, and he said Gunther, for the Intercontinental Championship instead of that.
I know he has been like training and stuff, but he's still a trash man.
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
We don't want him there, thank you.
No.
Send him home.
Speaking of people we don't want in WWE, the next match on the card. It's another person who really shouldn't be taking a spotlight off of the stars that bust their asses and have been busting their asses year in, year out, and still aren't on the card. People like Ricochet, Viking Raiders, even New Day aren't on the SummerSlam card. What's up with that? You know? But here we have Logan Paul. Ooh. And the next match we have is Pat McAfee versus Lucky Corbin. I keep defaulting to Baron Corbin because Baron Corbin was one of the best guys in NXT.
Yeah. Is he Happy Corbin now?
I think he's still Happy Corbin.
Yeah. He said Lucky. I think he was Lucky for a bit.
Is it Happy? Oh, that's right. Yeah, see what I mean? Just Baron Corbin. What was wrong with Baron Corbin?
I know.
Nothing.
He was so cool before.
Baron Corbin in NXT was a physical force of dominance. He was fantastic. He came up to the main roster with that energy, and he was amazing.
Yeah.
And they've turned him into this.
Yeah.
With Pat McAfee chanting bum-ass Corbin.
Yep.
Like, what?
And you get loads of McAfee chants, but I think that's like partly football fans, isn't it? From
probably
back in the day.
But
and people who like the goofy slapstick thing, because he's all about goofy slapstick. But I find it a bit demeaning, I think.
A little bit. It's like when he was doing the whole King Corbin, and then Shinsuke won the match and took the title, the crown, the title of the King of the Ring off him and that, and then he was broke and he was food stains all over his shirt and stuff, and he was like, go home, you reject, and all this kind of stuff. Oh, wait, you haven't got... And it was so demeaning. It very much felt, and I've covered this on the videos during the time when this was happening, that Pat McAfee was really demeaning Baron Corbin. And I'm going to call him Baron Corbin because this is a habit. And I feel that was very much a bullying angle.
He's like a toddler.
Who, Corbin or McAfee?
McAfee. He's like a toddler. Toddlers always like... they're jumping around, dancing on the tables, and saying what they mean, what they think, no matter how hurtful it is. That's what the impression I get.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, I know they've got history, and there was that image I showed you that I saw of Corbin and McAfee in their football days, and they both looked ridiculously young. But it's like Corbin's been doing this for years. He transitioned from American football to wrestling. He's been... In my opinion, he's done a really great job.
Yeah.
You know, especially, as I say, with the early days, the Lone Wolf stuff. That stuff was on par. That was great. And then they turned him into this pretty much a joke.
Yeah.
And then they're having him fight Pat McAfee.
Who's a commentator.
Commentator, and not a very good one at that.
No, he's not.
Let's be perfectly honest.
It's terrible. But yeah.
On the back of that, who have you got?
I think McAfee's going to win.
Yeah.
Again, don't want it to happen.
I'd rather Corbin beat 7 bells out of him, come back with this Lone Wolf gimmick, and just lamp 7 bells out of him. But I don't think it's going to happen. Sidebar.
Okay.
There's one thing we should have probably mentioned prior to this, because I'm thinking about sort of where we're going from here. This Happy Corbin thing hopefully will change soon.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that, Leanne?
Because...
What's happened in the last week or so?
So much. So much.
A lot has happened.
So the first thing was... Vince retired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon has retired.
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon has taken on the role of...
Yeah, so Nick Khan
exactly
and Stephanie McMahon are co-CEOs of WWE.
Co-CEOs.
Vince remains the majority shareholder, so he still owns the company as the majority shareholder, but he's no longer running it as it stands.
So he's just taking the money and leaving it.
He's at home, he's relaxing, he's probably going to end up watching some Raw and Smackdown and Summerslam, just being like, oh, this is trash, and throwing a glass at the screen or something.
Start watching AEW.
Oh, imagine that, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, so then, a couple of days after, I think it was the next day or a couple of days after Vince retired, the news broke that his misdemeanors were quite a bit worse than initially thought.
Oh no, that was prior to that. So originally...
I saw the news story after the
retirement. Originally it was something along the lines of Vince paid off one of the female talent who he had an affair with. He had sexual relations with one of the talents, and he paid her the sum of around $3 million to shut her up, hush money.
Yes.
And then she was fired from the company the same year. So that leads to speculation. I'm not going to name drop, but there was only like 2 or 3 talents which were released around that time. So you can kind of, I think I know who it is, but you can kind of, I'm not going to again. No. So then they appointed like an investigator into this. Mm-hmm. And it turns out there was a lot more than just the one. Surprise, surprise. Genetic jackhammer, what can you say, right? It's Vince McMahon. Genetic jackhammers, was it grapefruits? I've got grapefruits! And then it was closer to the tune of $12 million hush money.
So I think I saw something again after.
So after we retired, John Laurinaitis has been fired as well because he's part of this investigation where Vince apparently handed one of these female talents off to Laurinaitis to have a good time and was paid off again. Yeah. So Triple H was appointed the senior vice president of talent relations, the executive vice president rather. So he's now in charge of all the talent, sort of hiring, firing, making sure everyone's well-being, and that is all good. Because I don't think people really like Johnny Laurinaitis too much. He wasn't very approachable from what I've heard.
Sounds it.
Then, I think it was on the Monday just gone, where it turns out that going back to something like 2009, I believe. I don't remember the exact thing, but it was around sort of 2006, 2009. This money that Vince had used to pay off the women were not listed as income for the company.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
So that is...
is it like
embezzlement? It's embezzlement because that's also... No, it's also tax evasion. Mm-hmm. So there's, I think he said there was like $14.6 million worth that wasn't accounted for.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tax. That's tax evasion. And he basically embezzled that money to pay off his affairs.
Yep.
Without anyone knowing. Vince could, and the company could see a lot of really rough times go out of this.
Yeah. But with Triple H and Stephanie at the helm...
And then news broke that Triple H is now also head of creative.
I think that's the best news.
Yeah, I think out of this entire, don't get me wrong, Vince McMahon paved the way for a lot of guys. Yes. He did a really really sort of propel the wrestling industry in the 90s, 80s and 90s with your Hulk Hogan, your Macho Man, your Ultimate Warriors going to the Attitude with The Rock and Stone Cold, even Triple H. John Cena, Brock Lesnar, all these guys. He propelled them, gave them a platform to springboard their careers, and they are literally household names. Yeah. You know, John Cena's doing DC comic book movies and TV shows with Peacemaker and Suicide Squad. Brock Lesnar went to UFC, won the UFC championship. Without him being in WWE first, I don't believe that would have happened.
Quite possibly.
The Rock, he's going to be in the new Black Adam movie.
Yep.
Where did he come from? WWE. Or WWF at the time. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's had multiple reality shows. Broken Skull Challenge. You got the Broken Skull Sessions on the WWE Network. There was the one where he was interviewing people and taking them, like that one where he's driving the Warthog from Halo. I can't remember.
That was so good.
But it's all these people, even like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was probably one of the first to cross over.
Yeah.
So you had Hulk Hogan in the 80s. He came into the WWE, I think it was WWF at the time. He became the champion. He's like champion for years. And then they propel him into like Thunder in Paradise, Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, all this Hollywood crossover. And even though he's kind of gone off the rails a little bit with some of the comments and stuff he's been saying and some of the stuff he's been doing, it still is a household name.
Yeah.
You know? And that's one of... Oh, was it? Okay, right, so it's just one bus. And it's kind of transitioning the boundaries. And then you've got the stars like Miz, who was in reality TV first and came into the WWE. Or, dare I say it, friggin' Logan Paul and Pat McAfee and all these guys. So, Vince McMahon did a lot for the industry, but you cannot get away with stuff like that.
No.
It's demeaning to the women. It's almost, was it the hashtag Me Too? There was a whole thing a few years ago where the wrestling industry was going nuts over wrestling talent who had allegedly abused women. Why didn't this happen to Vince back then? You know, but I guess he was kind of just throwing money at it, you know? So the problem is that if the WWE is found guilty of any of this and having a hand in any of it, the entire company will have to pay the price for it.
Yeah, and it could cause a lot of, well, lowering of budgets, more people losing their jobs. Yeah, it could be a real problem. But moving on to the good stuff.
Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, even though she literally less than a month prior to this left to, obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, Triple H had I think it was a proper full-on heart attack.
Yeah.
He was in hospital for a little while, and he's fine now. He's much better. He's doing much better, which we're very grateful for. I think we covered that again on a previous one of our videos. But Stephanie McMahon had been sort of running things, helping Vince, and trying to look after Triple H as best she could, but she couldn't get much time to go home because of the company. So she was like, right, I'm taking a step back. I'm relieving myself of my position. I will be back, but I need some time to go home, look after my girls, look after my home, my family. And then like 3 or 4 weeks later, Vince is like, yeah, I'm retiring. Steph's the CEO. Oh, no, that's right. He said to step back from it because he was being relieved of his duties as CEO. Stephanie came back, and then I think it's about 4 weeks since that happened. Then he's right, I'm retiring. And a lot of people surmise that he's doing this now because the investigator might maybe give a little inkling or a heads up that what they'd found was embezzlement and tax evasion, and that Vince needs to just go now.
Better to leave on his own terms.
Yeah. But yeah, Triple H, as I say, in charge. There's a lot of guys who are in NXT and the main roster had said, literally since Triple H was put into the head of creative, that if Triple H was where he is now, back when they were still there, they would not have left.
Yeah, I could believe that.
You know? So we might see, heaven forbid, a lot more guys jumping from AEW back to WWE. But I think it's going to depend on when Nick Khan sits with this. So whilst Triple H is that, lack of a better term, gatekeeper for creative, so he will get final say. He does what Vince was doing. He gets final say on the stories. He gets final say on the gimmicks and the matches and stuff like that. Nick Khan is still the CEO. Now, where does Nick Khan fit in this? Is he a Vince McMahon guy? Or is he a McMahon-Helmsley guy? And can we please just get rid of Kevin Dunn, the executive vice president, a producer, or whatever it is, the guy who keeps going, cut, 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 and you just got the camera angles just literally like they're having an epileptic fit. We just need to get rid of that guy. And I'm pretty sure Triple H doesn't like him already.
Nice.
So I bet Kevin Dunn right now is sitting in his production truck and he's like, oh, I'm sweating so bad right now. So, yeah, that was just, we wanted to sort of touch on that and, you know, say, like, you know, Vince McMahon, he has kind of run the company into the ground because he's not really with it in terms of the popular stuff for the last maybe
he built
decades.
It way up and then he's just lost it.
Yeah. But we appreciate what he did for the industry.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, he bought the company from his old man, Vince McMahon Sr., Vince McMahon Jr., obviously, and I've been watching some of the old stuff like Superstars and Raw from '93, and Vince McMahon on commentary is solid gold in that era.
Yeah.
So especially got the Macho Man and Bobby Heenan there as well. But yeah, you know, thank you, Vince McMahon, for everything that you have done for the industry, and thank you for realizing it's time to step away and let some of the younger people take over. You know, Stephanie and Triple H. They're gonna just, I hopefully nail it.
Yeah.
I hope they're just gonna crush it.
I got high hopes.
Yeah, same. And now we won't see all these NXT guys come up and just be like floundering and then leaving because Vince didn't really like most of the NXT people. So anyway, moving on.
Yes.
We have a no disqualification tag team match next with Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I couldn't think the Judgment Day. Obviously, Rhea Ripley will probably play a part in this as well. So this has been a bit of an ongoing thing in the last few weeks. Obviously, they booted Edge out. There was obviously speculation that they were going to go down more of a, would you say, a supernatural kind of route?
That's what I'd heard.
And that's why Edge wasn't involved in it anymore, because he didn't want to go down that route. I can kind of see it from both sides, but they haven't really done anything supernatural with it yet. No, so that kind of doesn't make sense right now.
They've sort of just become bullies, really.
Yeah. But then, I mean, I've said it before, I think Rey Mysterio's a bit overrated. So if they're going to bully someone, you might as well make it someone overrated, right?
And they're doing it very well, to be fair.
So then, with 20th anniversary of Rey Mysterio being in WWE this past week, Judgment Day took some exception. They had a tag team match, which they lost to Rey Mysterio. Came out and celebrated, and Rhea Ripley kind of came in and beat, I think it was Dominic she hit. Or was it Ray? No, I think it was Ray. No, I can't remember. But either way, Ray ends up getting thrown to a table with a Judgment Day, gets dragged around the backstage, thrown to a table. Rhea comes out at him again, hits boots him in the shoulder. And it's great to see Rhea Ripley back, because she was out with an injury of some sort. Whether or not it was a concussion, as the dirt sheets were saying, or that nasty knee where she had to have some dental work done. And she kneed herself in the face. Yeah. She had to have dental work. She had braces line on her teeth last time we saw her. Yeah. So it's good to see Rhea Ripley back, and she was wearing an Eddie Guerrero shirt, which was like, ooh, adding fuel to that fire a little bit. But prior to that, and there was a reason I'm touching this, and I'll go into that in a sec. They gave Dominic's wife, no, it's his sister. So Ray's daughter, who Aaliyah, I think her name was, if I remember rightly, has a present for Ray at this 20 thing before he gets sidelined and beaten up. So she hands him this box, and Ray opens it, and it's his, I think it was 1997-ish, around that sort of time period gear from WCW. I think it was Halloween Havoc. Don't quote me on that one. I've not seen all of WCW. Still a bit sketchy and some of that, but I believe it was Halloween Havoc he wore this. And it's an all-in-one. The mask is part of the suit as well. And apparently you've been looking at it for ages, blah, 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 blah. Now, and that's when obviously Judgment Day showed up, and Rhea Ripley showed up, and Judgment Day showed up, and they started beating on Rhea and whatever. And, it was Aaliyah that got in Rhea's face.
Yeah, she faced off with her. That's
right. And then I think she sort of shoved her, and Ray sort of chased off, and that's where Judgment Day came in. That's what it was. It comes back to me. I'm a bit slow. I'm getting on a bit in age, you see. So. But there is a reason I'm going to touch into that, but I'm not going to cover that just yet. Okay. So, obviously with a lot of the outside interference with Rhea Ripley or Finn Balor when the one-on-one matches, they kind of take underhanded tactics to beat their opponents. You know, that's part of the Judgment Day. That's what it is. So what they've done is they've gone, let's do a no disqualification match instead. So, before I say anything else, who have you got winning?
Ray and Dominic.
Ray and Dominic.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going Judgment Day. Okay. I think, right, what if, okay, just go back to this purple outfit. Right? What if Ray's not wearing it? So obviously it means a lot to Ray. And he's like, right, I'm going to wear it at SummerSlam. He's like, actually, you know what? Dominic, you wear it at SummerSlam.
That will not fit him.
Okay. They can tailor it. They can adjust it. Whatever. So Dominic comes out wearing this outfit.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word then. So then during the match, no disqualifications. Anything goes. Dominic's got like a chair or a kendo stick or something. He's ready to hit one of the Judgment Day. And he turns around and crowns his father. Joining Judgment Day.
Maybe? I don't see it.
Who comes out for the save? Who's been playing all these vignettes for the last few weeks since Money in the Bank?
Yeah, could be Edge. We think it's Edge.
I think Edge is definitely coming back for SummerSlam. He apparently was supposed to be on Raw this week, but travel issues stopped him from returning.
Okay.
So when is the next best time to have him come back? At the event.
Yeah. Maybe.
Why would you need a three? Because obviously you've got Rhea Ripley. You can't have Edge come back to fight Rhea Ripley.
No.
Because it's male on female violence. But what if Beth Phoenix is with him too?
Mm-hmm.
But again, going back to that with Balor and Priest and Rey and Dominic, that's an even matchup. It's 2-on-2.
Yeah.
Okay? So why would they need Edge to come out and make the save? Because Dominic turns on Rey. And they've teased it for so long. Ages ago, they teased it, where he was getting fed up with his dad, interfering in his matches, coming down to the matches, telling him what to do. Yeah. And then they just kind of on the wayside. So what if he gets him to wear this outfit and he's like, I'm not trying to be you, I want to be my own man.
Okay.
That's I think that would be a great ending to the match.
I still don't see it, but it's opinions.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, then we move on to the title matches, but now you're thinking, wait, there's one more non-title match, Alan. Where's that? Where is Riddle versus Seth frickin' Rollins?
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly, on Raw, when Seth Rollins stomped Riddle on the ring apron, he suffered a stinger and is not medically cleared to wrestle at SummerSlam, which has led into this whole tirade then of Seth Rollins on social media. Going like, oh yeah, no, I should be on SummerSlam. I've been volunteered, I've been trying to rally and fight for SummerSlam, all this kind of stuff. Can't believe we did with WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Thanks to all my supporters who sing my music, like all this kind of stuff. And then Triple H tweeted, I haven't forgotten about you.
Okay. Interesting.
What's going to happen here, Leanne? Who is Riddle's best friend?
Okay.
If he's cleared, we could eventually see Seth Rollins come into the ring, make a spiel of, no one's man enough to fight me. Out comes Randy Orton.
Interesting.
That would be interesting.
But
because that's not an official match,
we're not gonna
obviously
Your
go into any depth.
Your prediction is that might happen.
I think it's a very strong likelihood that it will happen.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So first up the title matches then. We have the almighty Bobby Lashley defending his United States Championship against Theory, the youngest Mr. Money in the Bank of all time. How long until they get a kindergartner to win something and go, well, we can't do any more than that? I mean, we've already seen the youngest tag team champion of all time.
Exactly. I can't remember his name.
What was his name? It'll come to me.
Bring him back.
So, I mean, this whole thing was basically just not really even a build-up to this. It's not like the match with Money in the Bank where Lashley was challenging Theory for the championship and they had the pose-offs and all that kind of stuff. It's literally just been, he's going to get a rematch.
Yawn.
Okay, I think we saw a 6-man tag a couple of weeks back with Theory and Lashley involved. They barely touched each other, but it's like, where's the build-ups? I don't quite... Okay, alright, okay, whatever.
It's like they can't decide whether to go for endless build-up that leads nowhere or no build-up at all. Yeah. It's and again, hopefully that will change now with Triple H in control. You know. Hopefully.
I've really got nothing else to say about this match. Theory's been teasing he's going to cash in on either Brock or Roman, but there's been nothing so much about the United States Championship match.
No.
It's been, I'm going to beat Bobby, get my belt back, then I'm going to win the WWE Universal Championship. It's like, well, there seems to be more focus around this match on the WWE Universal Championship than there is on the actual United States Championship. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they're devaluing the belt a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when you have Lashley versus anyone else. Like, literally anyone else.
Yep.
You could have had Lashley versus The Miz and just cut Theory and Paul Logan out of this entire equation.
Logan Paul.
Oh, yeah. That's so much I don't care about the guy. I don't even get his name wrong. Mm-hmm. You could have Lashley versus Seth Rollins. That'd be a great match, you know? But they're just sticking it in with Theory all the time.
Yeah.
How long till Triple H changes that?
Hopefully soon.
Who have you got winning this one?
Lashley.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. He's not going to lose it that soon.
No, I don't think so. And if they do, then they're just building Theory up to fall. Because nobody wants to see him with this stuff.
No.
You need to build him up better than you have. Mm-hmm. And one thing I did love from Raw was, and I don't really want to give praise to Roman Reigns, but now when he said that now that Daddy's gone,
yeah, that was.
And then the crowd started chanting "Daddy's boy." That was hilarious. I loved it.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, loved it.
They did both.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was really good. Probably the best thing Roman Reigns has done in a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting the day of the pay-per-view wrong. Sorry, Premium Live Event.
I think a couple of them did that, though, didn't they?
It was Paul Heyman and Roman, yeah.
Yeah.
This Sunday at SummerSlam. No, it's Saturday, mate. It's Saturday. And I get it, because 9 times out of 10, well, I say that, probably like just the last 20-odd years of Premium Live Event pay-per-views, they've been on Sundays, because that's been the norm. Hello. But they've changed it to Saturdays for some, which, I'm quite enjoying that. I like that.
Saturdays works for us better.
Anyway, on to the next match. We have Bianca Belair defending her Raw Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. This is effectively a rematch from WrestleMania. It's a rematch from SummerSlam last year. It's a rematch from Extreme Rules last year. I think they probably did it in another event at some point, maybe Royal Rumble. I don't remember the amount of times these women have fought, but I'm getting really bored of it now.
Yeah, it's enough
now. And the problem with the build-up is that it's not even anything interesting. It's just Becky going, well, I deserve a rematch. I deserve a title shot. I
beat her in 26 seconds or whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the same old, and they're not changing it up. There's no stipulations on this match, is there?
Nope, not that I've seen.
It's just a plain old match. Same thing. There's going to be hair pulling.
Bianca Belair needs to lose that braid. It's getting old.
It's probably about time for a change-up.
The problem is, that's all she's got.
Yeah.
I know people go, she's really strong as well.
She is very strong.
Does that really make her an interesting person, an interesting in-ring performer?
Slim pickings in the women's division.
Do you know why? Because they fired them all.
Yep. Yeah. So it's just rinse and repeat.
Yeah. The one bonus is that Alexa Bliss has said that she wants the winner of this match. So potentially at Clash at the Castle, we're going to get to see one of these two versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
That would be very cool.
I will be there to see it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anything you want to add about this build-up or this match?
Yawn.
I'm not really looking forward to this one, if I'm honest. What you got?
I'd like Becky to win, but I think Belair's going to keep it.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I think it needs to change.
It's retribution for last year. So last year was the Smackdown Women's Championship that Becky Lynch won, I believe.
I think so.
This year it's the Raw Women's Championship, but again, it's 1 year apart and you're in the same match, even though last year was the surprise return of Becky Lynch. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
They were trying to make a thing of it as well. They're saying, oh, we're coming full circle from last year. And I'm just there like, why though?
For 26 seconds, is there any point of burning out a storyline for a year for this?
I know.
Nope.
If this match lasts 26 seconds, I'll be happy.
You know what Bianca needs to do is beat her in 25 seconds.
Yes, that'd be good. That's the only way it's going to be good.
Anyway, on to the next. We have the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match, which is the Usos defending against the Street Profits.
Again.
But wait, there's a special guest referee in this match. Who is it, Leanne? J-E-double-F. J-A-double-R.
J-A-double-R.
Try to keep up. E-double-T.
Double-T. That one.
That's double J Jeff Jarrett. Feels like a really weird choice. So this all came about from Money in the Bank, where we had this exact match. Usos versus Street Profits. You could tell Leanne's not interested in this pay-per-view because she's playing with the cat.
He's right there.
I know. He's such a good boy.
Yeah, good boy. Nope.
And they're having this exact same match over again, just with a special referee. And it's like, well, you could have made it more interesting with like a 3 or 3 falls match, or no holds barred, or falls count anyway. You could have done literally anything.
Yeah.
But you've gone special guest referee.
Uh-huh.
I can see why in a sense, because obviously when the Usos won against the Street Profits at Money in the Bank, I think it was Montez Ford was being pinned. His shoulder was not on the mat. And then as soon as they showed it, I was like, right, we're going to rematch at SummerSlam. I said that to you at the time, and then I said it on the event reactions video that we did for Money in the Bank last month.
Yeah.
Last month? This month. Earlier this month.
Yeah,
we're still this month. Yeah.
This month.
So then they've had a couple of one-on-one matches going back and forth, and then the opposite happened. So I think it was Dawkins pinned one of the Usos. And the shoulder was blatantly just not sitting on his leg, and the referee still counted 3. So then Adam Pearce's like, right, we're going to assign a referee, blah, blah, blah. It went on for like 2 weeks. And then they're like, right, here's your referee, Jeff Jarrett, Double J. Right, why Jeff Jarrett? He's had nothing to do with these teams.
I reckon he was just visiting one day and like, oh, I'd really like to do something. Oh, we need a guest referee.
Well, no, because he's part of the backstage people. He's there all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
The only reasoning would be that he is from Nashville, Tennessee. And that's where SummerSlam takes place.
That'd be it.
For me, that's a cheap cop-out. You could literally have, like, what are you doing? And just, you could have someone like a legendary tag team wrestler come back, like one of the Dudleys. Have Devon or Bubba Ray Dudley come in and do a referee spot. Well, they're expert like tag team wrestlers. Yeah, great, do it. If Edge wasn't involved in the feud with Judgement, you could have had Edge do it. You know, I would say the Hardys, but they contracted him to AEW. But I don't think Tony Khan would say no. You know, there is so many other options they could have done. Now, not knocking Jeff Jarrett. I like Jeff Jarrett.
It's just not.
It just doesn't really fit for me.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
You know,
that might be fun.
And then the next night, he's participating in Ric Flair's last match.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
He's gonna be exhausted, poor thing.
I think that's pretty much it. There's been a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of one-on-one matches. There's been a lot of different six-man tag team matches and things like that, back and forth for the last sort of 4 weeks since Money in the Bank.
Yeah, this is another match where I've seen enough of this team up.
Yeah. We've seen this loads of... oh, dear.
We've
seen this loads of times. Yeah. That's the problem. And it's the same thing when we said about the Usos and New Day, when they were running that horse, flagging that horse to death as well. You know, this... Yeah. What about Viking Raiders? What about, dare I say it, Jinder Mahal and Shanky? You know, you've got teams who could go for the championship, for the tag team championships, who are part of the tag team division.
He's a very squirmy boy today.
But they just keep putting the same 2 or 3 teams in the thing all the time. And it's getting really old and really boring.
It is.
You know, and I really hope that changes now with Triple H. Again, I don't want to repeat myself, but something needs to change. They want to know why fans are so PO'd with WWE. It's because we're getting the same copy-paste every single month. You know? Yeah,
it's all the same.
Who have you got winning?
I think Usos.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I keep thinking it's got to be time for them to drop the belts now, right? But then I'm like,
They'll drop the belts when Roman drops the belt.
Yeah.
Oops, is that a spoiler?
Yeah, I don't think Roman's dropping it. Anyway.
Next up, so just put that there. Next up, we've got the Smackdown Women's Championship. The ultimate underdog, Liv Morgan, defending against Ronda Rousey. Now...
this one could be good.
I hope it is. And I hope they don't go down the BS route. Okay, so... I think I know how this is going to go, but we'll cover that in a sec. So... obviously, last month, Money in the Bank saw Natalya versus Ronda Rousey, and they played off the story angle of her injuring her knee during the match, and Natalya focused on the knee with a sharpshooter. Ronda ultimately won the match, retained the title by beating Natalya. Then out comes Liv Morgan to cash in her Money in the Bank, and Liv Morgan wins, so she's the women's champion, which is great. And her sort of heartfelt promos, you can see how visibly emotional she is over winning this championship in her promos. And it's refreshing to see that.
Yeah, it genuinely means a lot to her.
I think the last time I saw something like that was when Bayley won the NXT Women's Championship in NXT. Because that was like her childhood dream to win like gold in WWE. And NXT, she was in development. She was the last of the 4 horsewomen to come up from there. She captured that belt, and you could see that she was really emotional over it, and it really meant something to her. And you don't get much of that these days. That's a bit of a problem, because a lot of the people bouncing these belts back and forth to each other are veterans.
Yeah, so it's nothing new, really. Yeah.
Like even Ronda Rousey, like she's one of the baddest women on the planet. She's won UFC gold. She's won WWE gold. She didn't phase, she didn't get phased by it.
Yeah.
But then when you see Liv Morgan win it, and she's on the verge of tears cutting a promo because she's so happy.
Yeah.
And on the back of that, I don't think it would have happened if Sasha and Naomi hadn't walked out.
Quite possibly.
So it's probably a good thing they did.
Yeah.
Because I think they probably would have had Sasha versus Ronda. Or probably had Sasha win Money in the Bank or something like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been Liv Morgan.
A whole different landscape.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't have been Liv Morgan winning. Which I'm glad they did, because Liv Morgan's great. And obviously we've had these things going back and forth with Liv and Ronda in the last couple of weeks, and the like sort of promos and interviews, and Ronda being like, enjoy it while you can, because I'm going to take it back from you. And Liv's like, well, I'm going to beat you because you won't see me coming, and all this kind of stuff. And it's been interesting. Yeah,
they've quite a good chemistry.
Yeah, they do. So again, the problem is that you've got SummerSlam is like one of the big 4.
Yeah.
And they've only given it like 4 weeks build up, and half of that wasn't even build up to this.
No.
That's the problem I've got with this year's SummerSlam. And there was an internal thing that said even the people who are booking the card don't like the card. Well, maybe you should have thought of that before you like booked the card, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
Who have you got winning?
I think. My feeling is Liv isn't as good as Ronda.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
But
Ronda's a total badass.
Liv should not lose the championship at this point. It's too soon.
Yeah.
So what I think might happen, but it's a lot of speculation, is
that's what this
interference
is all for. Okay.
from Natalya.
Okay.
For disqualification.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, I think she's probably got a bee in her bonnet about Ronda still winning that match. I don't know, it just feels like that could be, I don't think it's going to be Liv wins by pinfall or submission, but champion's advantage will retain the championship.
Okay.
So I guess
the problem is you've got to be careful with that, because if Liv loses, let's say Ronda Rousey wins via disqualification.
Yeah.
Technically, Ronda Rousey remains the number one contender.
But Liv could win by disqualification.
Yeah.
It depends who gets hit, I guess.
Yeah. So you could have, like, on your sort of term, Natalya could come out and hit Liv Morgan, which would then disqualify Ronda Rousey, which means she's not number one contender anymore.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going for Liv Morgan to retain the title. Yeah. That's what we'll say, like we've done before. So it's difficult to say who's going to win, but the person walking out with that championship, with that belt, dare I say it, is going to be Liv Morgan.
Yes.
I agree. But I don't think Natalya.
Okay. Who do you think?
Woo!
Is she coming back?
She's married. She's had her honeymoon.
Yeah. Oh.
Who is the person that took the SmackDown Women's Championship from her?
Ronda?
Bingo.
I'm trying to remember things.
Ronda Rousey won that belt from Charlotte Flair. There was speculation Charlotte Flair will be back in time for the summer run.
Okay.
Could be Charlotte. Charlotte could make a appearance.
Didn't even occur.
Still have a, as you aptly put it, a bee in her bonnet about Ronda beating her for the title.
Don't put bees in your bonnet, folks.
Still having that bee in her bonnet about Ronda beating her for the championship.
Yep.
And coming back and being like, well, if I can't have that title, neither can you. Because that's the kind of spiteful thing that Charlotte Flair would do.
Oh, yes.
You know? So I think Charlotte Flair might end up coming back to this one.
Nice. Sounds good.
I wouldn't say nice.
Nice.
I wouldn't.
I don't
Let's
know.
keep her up.
She can be good. It just depends how much she's rammed down your throat.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And how much she'll beat Liv Morgan for that belt.
Yeah.
Last up then, we have the main event, ladies and gentlemen. For the last time ever, as they're adamantly saying, this is the last ever match. Bollocks. Roman Reigns defends his WWE undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar. I've lost count of how many matches these guys have had. It's probably close to double digits.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It's getting really old.
Yeah, but this is the last one ever, so it's
special.
Is
it though? Last time ever. So,
well, you have
sidebar.
Last time ever, and then you have one more time.
Sidebar. Yeah. Sidebar. John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Once in a lifetime. One time only. They did it the same thing the next year.
Yeah. What can you say? That's how they do.
Not a lot.
They like repeating things so much they just can't help themselves.
So, going back slightly to the Vince McMahon retirement spiel, that was at Smackdown last week. So on the day of Smackdown last week on Friday. Brock Lesnar supposedly walked out, saying something to the effect of, well, if he's gone, I'm gone. Later in the night, he did return, and he did come out and beat 7 shades out of Theory with a suitcase. Dented the hell out of that suitcase, which was great. But have they kind of already said who's winning this match by having that information leak out?
Quite possibly. If he wants out, they're not going to stop him.
But they're also not going to give him the title.
No.
However, just before the announcement of Vince McMahon retiring hit, I showed you an image of an action figure that was shown at Comic-Con, which was happening at the same time, of Brock Lesnar, one of the Elite Series, I think it's Mattel that's doing the figures now. I'm not entirely certain on that one. Ding ding. With the Brock Lesnar figure of the Elite Series with both the blue and red belts. So the Universal Championship and the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Which led me to believe then that, is Brock Lesnar going to win this? Because why would they package both belts with that figure when he's never held the blue championship?
So now that toy might be just wrong.
Yeah. I'm not sure what his contract was like with Vince. I don't know if it was on a like a handshake deal or if it's pen to paper. I don't know. But again, going back to the sort of the thing with this is that obviously after Money in the Bank, Roman Reigns in his mouth in the ring, spouting his mouth off, blah 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 blah. Roman Reigns bloodline, no one can touch me. Out comes Brock Lesnar, puts his hand out to shake it, and Roman's kind of like, okay, shakes his hand, gets an F5 for his trouble. So does the rest of the bloodline. Yeah. But then they've not really been in the same place at the same time. No. It's just been Theory taking the beatdowns. But then
it's been good.
Yeah, I'm not debating that. But then Theory's just like, well, I'm going to cash in on Brock if you win. I'm going to cash in on Roman if he wins. Blah, 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 blah. I feel that with Money in the Bank, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah. Advertise who you're going to cash in on.
I hate that. Absolutely hate it.
Because you want to catch them off guard.
That's
the
whole point.
They know you're going to do it. They're going to finish the match and then get up ready. Silly.
That's the whole point. You know? I mean, again, there's not really been much of a big build-up. It's last time ever.
Sure. We believe you.
Who have you got?
Reigns.
Yeah.
All of my ones have been the first name on on the book.
Talk about being left-wing. Hey!
Let's not go there.
On one other side, sort of slightly touching on something that's been on Smackdown the last couple of weeks as well. Yeah. They've been teasing Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, and the winner goes on to fight whoever the Universal Champion is at Clash at the Castle. We haven't had that match because Sheamus was like, I'm out of COVID.
Yeah,
then he sends in
like that.
No. Then the next week he sends in Butch. Then the week after is Ridge Holland. And the week after that, Drew cuts the ropes, which look
and really makes fire happen after a few seconds.
It's really bad.
It's really bad, and he bent his sword.
And that was, I think it was last week's one. And then this week they're saying, right, well, we're going to get into it. And was it a good old-fashioned Donnybrook? Yeah. I think they were calling it.
Something Irish.
Oh, this dude, it was 2 weeks ago he cut the rope, sorry. And then then last week he broke out all those shillelaghs and stuff. And then this week on SmackDown they're going to do their match. But I don't think that match is going to take place though.
No.
I think that something will happen and it'll get bumped either to SummerSlam or next week again.
And it could get bumped to SummerSlam to fill that gap now.
What gap? Seth Rollins is going to fight Randy Orton.
Oh, yeah. If you say so.
I kind of hope so. It'd be good to see Orton come back.
Yeah, it would be good to see Orton.
I'm not sure what the state of his injury is because he had an injury. That's why he's not been there.
Yeah.
But there's potential to have Drew versus Sheamus.
Yeah. Could be good. I think that'll be a good match.
Yep. And then we'll know who we're going to get to see fight the Universal Champion at Clash of the Castle.
I would kind of like to see Drew and Sheamus at Clash of the Castle, really.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good
one thing I would really like to see is Drew lose.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I like Drew McIntyre, but I find he gets a bit old a bit quick.
Yeah, he does. And we've seen him versus Reigns before.
So how about something different?
Yeah, get Sheamus
how about Sheamus in the title picture?
That could be
He's
really
not
good.
been in the title picture for ages. He's a former world champion. Put him in the match.
Get Butch in the match.
Thank you for watching. We are going to obviously record our reactions.
Yes.
And we'll put those up on Sunday, as long as we have time to do so. If not, it'll be Monday, but I think we should be able to get on Sunday. Yeah. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, hit the like button. Join the conversation below. Do you think all our predictions are right? Do you think Charlotte's coming back? Do you think Natalya's going to interfere in the match? who have you got winning the Universal Championship match? Is there someone else going to interfere apart from... and you got Austin Theory then. Apart from Theory, what do you think is going to happen? Let us know in the comments down below. Join the conversation that's going on down there.
If you think Theory's going to walk away with all the championships...
You're deluded, my friend.
Get out of here.
You are deluded, my friend. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. Guarantee that when we put a video up, then you'll get a notification. You can be like, Lee Allen have put a new video up. Let's go see what they put up this time. We have got some new board game content coming. We have got some wrestling content coming. After the SummerSlam, there is going to be 5 weeks without a wrestling event. And then we've got 2 in 2 days.
Oh no.
Clash at the Castle and AEW announced All Out is on September 4th. But I might have an idea to fill the wrestling void for August. So that's one thing actually I wanted to mention. SummerSlam's always taken place in August. Always. I don't know why it's in July this year.
Maybe it's the arena availability or something.
Maybe.
It is. We are right at the end of July, so it's sort of verging on.
Nope. No, it's not August. No, it's not August. They had SummerSlam on August 3rd one year. Was it 97?
Yeah.
That's beginning of August. They could have delayed it a week and had it on August 6th.
True.
But they didn't. For some reason, they've had it in July. And my thought was, maybe it's a bit of something to do with the Cardiff show. It's 5 weeks. Nope. No idea why they've done it, but hey ho, it's what it is. But I might have an idea to fill that void. So let us know if you want something in the comments below, if you want something to fill the void, or we might just do it anyway. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, and she doesn't know what it is yet either.
No idea. I'm worried. We're going to have a live wrestling match.
Damn it, my plans are spoiled. I'm organising the first ever Lee Allen Presents Federation Championship match. Yeah, that was awful. Thank you for watching. Enjoy SummerSlam. We're hoping to do so, even though the card is a bit kind of meh. Yeah, as I say, let us know what you think. Who do you think is going to win? And obviously, we'll see you back in the reaction video when we post that on Sunday.
Yay.
Enjoy. And don't go...
Breaking my heart.
Send help. Send Hook.